Okay, so welcome back to Coffee Cafe. This is where we left off yesterday, right? We finished up recording the purchase of a computer and a printer, right? We distributed the taxes on there, so we already recorded it. This amount we're ready, right? We did the journal, we did the ledger, and we did the subsidiary ledger, okay? So this is where we're going to be continuing on. It is going to be the same day, but let's see what happened here. So in this case, right, we have to pay liability insurance for 12 months, okay? Starting the 5th of June, okay, of 2020, okay, for a total amount of $2,350, okay, and it's going to be issued, and we're going to issue a check for to Sargent Insurance Company, and it's going to be for the total amount of $2,350. Okay, so in this case, we're issuing a check and make it payable to Sargent Insurance. Now, in this case, when we understand this, right, it's going to be the same thing like rent, right? We bought a whole year's worth of insurance, but right now, can I expense things for the company for the month of July, August, September, October? No. So right now, I really only can mark for just the month of, for June. However, therefore, if I already paid in advance for the rest of the year until May 30th of 2021, then therefore I have what's called prepaid accounts or prepaid insurance in this case, right? Because I already bought insurance, so that means this company owes me insurance because I own the insurance for these few months. So in this case, how are we going to journalize this, right? Do we have, let's go ahead and look at the chart accounts.
Yeah.
Do we have an insurance expense account?
Insurance expense account. We should have. Yes, it is 6,400.
6,400. And then in this case, right, we have a prepaid account, right, for I believe it's 18,600, right? And of course, we're paying with using a check, so therefore we're been taking out from our checking account. Okay, so let's go ahead and journalize this. So I just bought insurance.
So it is insurance expense also, whatever.
Insurance expense.
And then later we have to prepaid account.
Prepaid accounts.
And the check.
Yep, and checking. Okay, so again, these accounts was 6,400, 18,600, and 10,100. All right, so what's the amount for? Now, in this case, for the whole year, we know that we wrote a check out for $2,350. Okay, now in this case, because I have to split it, right? How much is it going to cost me per month for insurance?
$195.8333.
Yes, so $195.83, right? We figured that out by taking the $2,350, dividing it by the 12 months, and you're going to get $195.83. So therefore, the remaining amount should be, by subtracting these numbers, you should have a total of $2,154.17 worth of prepaid insurance. Okay? Now I wrote a check.
Yep, so you have to go to the register, no?
So again, 6,500. The amount was
2,350, yeah.
And who did we write this out to?
For the company, which company it is, the insurance company? Sargent Insurance Company. Check number 1503.
Good. Now we gotta take that and put it in our description because then That's what we know here, right? If you wrote this and didn't write a description, right, it's going to be like, well, you paid for insurance. Well, what kind of insurance did you pay for? Who was the insurance company that you paid for? Okay, so that's where you're going to put here. I wrote a check to Sargent Insurance Company. Okay, and then you could put other details such as 12 month insurance. Okay, using a check number 1503. Okay.
Okay. Yep.
So now that we've finished the journal, where do we go next?
So we're going to the subsidiary ledger, no? Create the account from this vendor, no?
Yes, you could do that.
No, we don't. We know this. It's right here. No, post the subsidiary ledger account.
Yes, you can do that. That's if that's what you want to do first. We can definitely put this in the subsidiary ledger first.
Oh, we have to go to the ledger too.
Yes, we should go to the ledger first. And in this case, I'll recommend you to do the ledger first and then subsidiary ledger after. So in this case, let's go ahead and plug our numbers into our ledger because that way we definitely need to keep the journal open so we're able to put in the information in our ledger. All right, so in this case, what's the first account that I have here in my journal?
Insurance.
Insurance expense.
Here we go.
Here we go, insurance expense.
Mm-hmm.
And then, go ahead.
195.
Okay, I'm going to put for the month of June. Okay. PR. I am still on my first general journal.
First page. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. For 195.
83.
So therefore, it should be 195.83.
Mm-hmm.
Then what account is next?
Prepaid account.
Prepaid account. Okay, so here I'm going to locate my prepaid account, which should be close to the bottom of this. Okay, so here you go, right here. Prepaid accounts. Okay, here you could say this is
Prepaid insurance.
mm-hmm.
For 12 months.
And then I'm going to put in parentheses how much per month this is. So 195.83 per month.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So here I put advance payment for 11 months of insurance, which is going to cost me roughly $195.83 per month. Okay. So then general journal. Page 1.
Page number 1.
Mm-hmm. Now in this case, how much do I have left remaining?
2,154.70.
Okay. So in this case, right, I'm adding to my prepaid accounts. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So if I'm adding to my prepaid accounts, how much should I have in my account balance?
You have 5,500 plus the 2,154.17. 6,654.17.
Perfect. $6,654.17. Good. Last but not least, we wrote a check So we need to decrease our checking account. Here we are under checking. Okay, date is 5/5/6, so
June,
June 5th,
June,
okay?
June 5th. Yeah, we're still on June 5th.
Oh, sorry, 6/5. Checking number 103, 5/15/03.
Mm-hmm.
General journal number 1. And this time we wrote a check out, so we're going to decrease our money by how much?
2000. Oops, sorry. I. Oh, what happened? Oh, I sorry. I closed the screen.
That's
So
fine.
it didn't. So it is 13 9 minus 2,350. 350. What 11,561.29.
Excellent. 11/5/6/1/29. Good. Okay. So there we go. Our journal's done. Our ledger's done. So now we need to go to our subsidiary
Register.
ledger.
Substitute. Mm-hmm. And the register, no? We have to.
Register. Which register?
No, we don't have to. The check. We write the check, so we.
We already wrote the check.
Oh, we already write the check.
Yes.
Sorry.
No worries. So we're going to go ahead and go to our subsidiary ledger.
Mm-hmm.
And we're going to go Sergeant Insurance. So S is going to be under vendors. We're going to go to S. QRS. Kim Robinson. Sergeant Insurance. Here we are. Okay. 6/5. I'm sorry. 5/6/6/5/6/5.
Right.
All right. And then in here, what's your note going to be?
So that you pay the 12-month insurance.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. With a check number
Check number 1503.
1503. Okay. Invoice number. So is there a policy number?
There's no policy here. No, no, any number. No.
No number here. I guess we can just make up a number here. So I guess we can say policy number.
The the invoice is the policy number, or you
Mm-hmm.
write the policy number? Yes. No.
Yeah.
The. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Policy number is the same thing as an insurance number, right? It's asking
Yes,
you
that's the insurance.
which one did you buy? We can make it 88 4513. Okay.
Okay.
So in this case, 884513 is the policy
13.
number. So that's going to be the same thing as the invoice number, right? 884513. Okay. Post reference once again. This is General Journal number 1.
Number one.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Can you get did they give you terms in regards to insurance
No.
policies? No. So again, we
No.
can skip discount date and due date. All right. Did we make a prepaid payment before we got the policy? No.
No.
No down payment. In this case, how much was my invoice amount?
2,000. 350.
Mm-hmm. And in this case, did we make any returns?
No.
Did we get any discounts?
No.
And did we make a payment? Yes, we did. We wrote a check
Yes, we
number.
did.
Okay. So in this case, once again, we're going to take the invoice number, subtract any prepaids, right? If we made it a payment in advance, it would decrease my liability. If we returned something, it would decrease the liability. If we got a discount, it would decrease the liability. Or last but not least, a payment will decrease my liability. So in this case, right, I owe Sergeant Insurance nothing.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So let's go see what happened next. Okay.
All right. June 6th, Thursday.
What had
Apply
happened
business
here
credit card. You apply for the credit card to the bank. To the bank.
to
Actually,
National Bank?
hmm nothing
So
happened.
nothing happened because all we did was apply. We didn't get approved yet, and nor do we know how much our credit line is, nor what the agreement is for the interest that you are going to be making payments for. So in this case, it's all you just simply applied, no transaction.
Mhm.
So now we are finally on the next day here. It is Thursday, June 6th. So in this case, right, we the main bank of what the heck happened? Maine Bank of Nevada, okay, has
Okay.
approved the line of credit of $10,000.
$1,000. Mm-hmm.
Okay, um, and then it's to be applied for overdraft protection and personal loans in increments of $1,000. Okay, so they let you take it out $1,000 per each time if you're doing a personal loan. If not, the terms here are that the interest rate is going to be 22% applied to unpaid balances, which is going to be compounded daily.
Too much information.
All right. So in this
Okay.
case, how do we journalize this transaction?
No idea. I don't really know. So I know they increase.
All right. Let's
If
take
we
a look
can,
at what is a line of credit. In this case, what are we using this line of credit for?
you have a credit. Can pay.
Well, what are we using this line of credit for?
I don't know why you're using this kind of credit. I don't know.
What does it
For,
say
for the
that? What is
for the
this
cost for the coffee cafe
for
for the
Coffee Cafe? But
business.
what? So it says that it's to be applied for what? What? When do we use this
Oh,
money?
overdraft protection. Overdraft protection.
Overdraft protection.
Protection. So
Okay.
when you are a minus. Okay.
Or if you take personal loans, right?
Okay.
So in this
So that
case,
means that. Mm,
how are we going to journalize this?
I don't know. I really don't can imagine how we do that.
Okay, so did we receive money?
No, we have a credit, but we don't have money, and we cannot use this money if you don't have overdraft or you don't take a loan.
Correct. So in this case, did a transaction actually happen?
No,
No, because in this case, we're just approved of the line of credit of $10,000. However, there's a condition. You can only use it if you overdraft your bank or if you choose to take a personal loan out. And in this case, did we do any of those things?
no.
No. However, you should put this information in the special place which we call the notes to the financial statements, okay? Because this is pertinent information that you should be aware of. So then when you do, and if and when you do overdraft, you know what the agreement terms are. You're going to get 22% interest on overdue balances. So in this case, right?
I don't think that you have to take it for 22%. It's a lot of money, no.
Well, I
For-
mean, in this case,
yeah,
do we have an option? Well, if we do our accounting very well, then yes, we would be able to not
that's this line of
over
credit.
exactly. We
Wow.
would never use this line of credit, but that's very typical of a credit card, right? A credit card would charge you anywhere from 22% interest, right? So let's go ahead. So in this case, right, since this is extra information, I don't need to journalize it. However, I should put it somewhere. And in this case, we have a place called the subsidiary ledger, which that will tell us, right? Because a bank is our vendor, right? The main bank is our bank that we use. So in this case, let's go ahead and find that vendor real quick. Where is it? Okay. Nope, I think I missed it. That's Main Bank of Nevada, okay? You don't necessarily have to write the date, but in this case, the description says that here. I'm going to say that I have a line of credit of $10,000, okay? To be applied on overdraft protection and personal loans. And I'm going to also make sure that I write that overdue balance will be 22% interest. Okay.
That's normal. They give you on a personal loan.
Yeah, it's for both personal loans and overdraft.
Overdraft protection.
So 22% interest. So then when you do receive a bill for in case you do accidentally, right, you would know by looking at your bank statement. If you overdrafted, they would take it out immediately from your checking account. So in this case, right, when you receive your bank statement, you will know that they took money out from your banking account. All right. Usually, this case, they will never bill you. They would just charge you right then and there. So, for example, right, if you ever go to the bank and you withdrew too much money, right, what happens? The bank doesn't tell you that they charged you. You just have to find out by next time you go to the bank or calling the bank itself, and they'll let you know, hey, you overdrafted your bank account, so we already charged your account. We took it out from your account immediately. They don't bill you. So in this case, when you do check your bank statement at the end of the month, if you did get this overdraft protection, then you'd be able to know that this is why what happened, right? They charged you 22% interest because of that. Yep.
Nice.
Wow. Yep. So in this case, yes, no transaction has happened, but at least we have some information that we can put in our ledger just in case we do have that line of credit happen. Okay.
You just write that, no any information more. No nothing. No the account. No. That's all.
Yep. That's it.
That's all what you're going to. Okay.
Yep. So next one right here. What does it say here? That the accountant created a new ledger account called loss on disposal of assets. Okay, account number 6700. Move the $2,000 from the miscellaneous expense account into the new account. Okay.
Why was that loss disposal and assets?
Well, what happened when we sold our furniture?
That you lost money.
That you lost money. Right now, it's currently in the miscellaneous expense account. So, as far as that, do we know? I mean,
so now you make that like an expense.
Yes, you made the expense account. So now we need to move it out because right now we didn't know what to do with that money. So now we do know what we can do with that money. So we're going to be transferring it out.
We have to open another 67K. 6,700. So we have to write the $2,000 in the just on the ledger.
Not on the ledger. You need to journalize this because we're moving it from one account to another. Right now, where is that $2,000?
In the miscellaneous expense.
Okay, good. But we need to move it into a new account for the actual account called loss on disposal of assets. So here and essentially what we're doing here is we're recategorizing our expenses, right? Because I put it in a miscellaneous, so now that I finally have an account for it, we need to transfer directly into the loss of disposal of assets.
I don't understand that finally you have an account for that. I don't understand what you mean when you have finally an account for that. You
So,
cannot write, yeah.
well, in this case, um, I lost $2,000, right? Right now,
Yes.
it's under my miscellaneous expense, but a miscellaneous
Hmm.
expense means that it's an asset. I have an intangible asset. Now, is
Ah,
that true?
no.
No, but I
No,
just
you
put
don't
it there
understand.
because I didn't have an account before that. I didn't know what to do with that. So now that I finally created an expense account that says loss on disposal of asset, now since it's no longer an intangible asset, I need to convert it into an expense.
You cannot do right away to put it in expenses and an account on expenses. I don't understand. You can create an account
We just did it right now. We created an account called loss on disposal of asset.
before you cannot do it.
Before, no, because I didn't have an account for it.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Stay there. Not so clear. You have a lot of accounts, so you cannot create one account specific for that. You have to write the one that you have, and now you create one. I don't understand how to
So,
explain
okay,
that. I'm
so
sorry.
as we go through a business, right, you are not obligated to have everything set for your chart of accounts because every year or every month that you go through expenses, right, you might create new accounts as you go through your business. So, this is in a scenario where I created an account while going through my business. Okay, so right now
Mhm.
is a loss from my
No,
sale of furniture an asset?
no.
No, it's not. It's an expense, right? Because you lost it. So in this case, right, I put it in the wrong account. So now that I created the correct account, I need to place it into that account.
So what you did before is just so you don't have what to put it. You just find an account. You can put it. You just put it on that account that they call miscellaneous, just for because you don't have any spots and you not anywhere
Exactly,
to put
exactly.
it.
I
Just
didn't
like
know where
that.
to put it. So I put it in an account called miscellaneous expense because in this case, we're a new business, right? I don't know what
Hmm.
account to put it in, so I just threw it into miscellaneous expense until the accountant or until the boss tells me, the accountant, to create a new account so then we can properly move it into another account and say that this is a loss. Like we have an actual idea what that account should be.
Hmm. Okay, so this is it for furniture and checking. So is now we have to reverse the other account, or we have just to write the new account, the new we write that on the journal normal.
Okay, so in this
Right.
case, right, where is my loss? Where is it currently right now?
Furniture, you sell the furniture
Well, we sold the furniture, but where is my loss? Where's the money that I lost?
in the miscellaneous.
It's in miscellaneous. Now, in this case, I'm telling you, I don't need it in miscellaneous anymore. I need you to move that into another account.
So you move it to lost down disposal of assets
Good.
first, and then miscellaneous and suspense, no?
Good. Correct. Loss on disposal of asset. And I'm going to credit my miscellaneous because what I'm doing is I have a new account for it. I'm going to move it right away.
That's normal that you do something like that, or just an example that you.
It's just an example of, where you have to create accounts as you go. So this is just an example of what happens when you put something in another account and you created another account. How do you move it out? And this is how you do it, right?
Mhm. So you have to close down the ledger to the account, no?
In a sense, you're not closing it out. You're just moving it out. So then that
I.
account, so then that account does not have an account balance on it. Yes.
Mm.
So we're trying not to have an account balance on it. We're zeroing it out because this $2,000 isn't an asset. right? Because you
So
lost the money. It's not an asset. It's not something that
it's
you
not.
own, right?
It's not even anymore. We
Yeah,
don't have it
exactly. We don't have it anymore, right? So in this case, we need to move it out. So then, if we move it out into the correct account, which is the loss on disposal of asset, for
So
two. Mm-hmm.
every time that you don't have any, we're gonna use the miscellaneous expense for something else,
Correct.
or it just yes,
Mm-hmm.
we can use this account for something else, even if when you don't know where to put something, you put it in miscellaneous all the time.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So
All right.
because just like look at
So
the word miscellaneous suspense. In this case, I don't know where to categorize it. It's miscellaneous, right? Miscellaneous could mean
mhm,
anything.
anything. Okay.
Suspense is kind of like if you throw something in the air, right, and you don't know where it's gonna land, it's suspended, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that's what this is, miscellaneous suspense. I'm throwing money and I don't know where to put it. That's what this account is. It's more like a placeholder account where I'm not quite sure what I want to do with this loss yet. So I'll recognize it when I create an account for it. And in this case, now that I have created the account, I can go
So
ahead and
that's when you move.
mm-hmm.
That's when you move. Okay. I
Okay.
understand.
Mm-hmm. So now in this case, right? Let's go ahead. What's the description here going to be? Move
Move the
to
miscellaneous to the loss and disposal. I don't know.
move from miscellaneous suspense to loss on okay, maybe loss for to new account.
But you before you record that like and that you that you lost this money.
Well,
So
yes, but where did you place it? We placed it as an asset.
mm-hmm,
Can you
because it was an asset, but you
it was an asset, but in this case, right? Is that correct?
no
Can I say a loss is something I own?
no.
No. So that's why it's just a random account that I'm saying that, well, it used to be mine, right? But now that I finally created a new account for it, that's actually reflecting what it truly is, right? That I lost money for disposing an asset, right? To get rid of an asset. So I had a loss on it. So in this case, I created an account and I need to move it from one account to another.
To another. Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I understand.
All right.
No, I understand. I said
Mm-hmm.
got it.
No worries. Okay. All right, so there you go. I have my journal complete. So what do I need to do now?
You go to the ledger and you write the miscellaneous that is going on the other side on credit.
Good. So, well, first off, right, let's look at that. So you want to do the miscellaneous expense first?
You don't have a checking, no? You don't have anything to take. You just move the account. So you have to write the new account, no, on the ledger,
Mm-mm.
the lost and disposal, no?
It's already there.
Oh, do we just write it? Don't know. I miss it.
What do you mean by that? So,
We
so
don't.
go ahead.
We did it. Oh, sorry, we did it before. I just forgot that. So now we have to write the miscellaneous. No, that's the miscellaneous.
Mm-hmm.
I was talking about the loss and disposal asset.
We do have that account.
I know, but we have to write the amount that we put it there now, the $2,000.
Yes, because whatever you write in your journal, it's the same
We
thing. You
have to.
have to post it to the ledger. Yes.
Mm-hmm,
So in this case, right, I put $2,000 in my into my loss on
miscellaneous.
disposal of assets,
Mm-hmm,
right? So I have to locate my loss on disposal of asset. Right
mm-hmm.
here, here it is. Nope, not that one. Purchase expense, office supplies expense, payroll. Okay, right here, license and permanent. Oops, right here. Loss on disposal
Loss
of
and
asset.
disposal.
Okay.
Now. Mm-hmm,
Okay, so in this case, it is the 6th of June. Okay, and I'm going to go ahead and write here that I lost on sale of furniture on June 4th. Okay. Post reference, we're still on the first journal. And we're going to increase my loss expense by $2,000. Okay. Now I need to update my miscellaneous expense because I have to get rid of that because I moved it from one account to another. So I had to go to my assets, right? Here, I can say that on the 6th of June, 6th of June, okay, that we moved loss on sale of furniture to a new account. Okay. All right. General journal number 1. And this time, did we debit or credit the account?
We credit.
We credit it because we no longer have $2,000 in there, right? We moved it out. So in this case, if I moved it out and I use a credit to decrease the amount, then how should I? Yes, then yes, it'd be 0. Right? All right. There you go. And that's it. Now in this case, did we deal with anybody? Did we deal with a vendor? Did we deal with a customer or an employee?
No.
No. So in this case, we do not need to use our subsidy ledger because this is considered a internal transaction. Okay. Right.
Yep.
All right. Yep. So let's move on to the next one. Okay. So then here, we have a purchase order, right? Let me see. Yep, we have a purchase order.
Okay, purchase order. So we buy furniture.
No, we're buying from the furniture store.
From the furniture store.
What?
One desk set for total 562.
Okay.
So we increase the furniture and we decrease our checking account.
No. Now in this case, did I say anywhere in regards to making a payment to it?
Not yet, so it's account payable.
Okay. Did I receive a bill?
Nope.
Did I go to the actual store?
I don't think so. So you purchase how you purchase? You have the order and that's all. You didn't order yet even? You
So
just think.
Exactly. So in this case, right, all I did was a purchase order. I only ordered it. I only requested to buy it. Did I receive it? No. Did I receive a bill for it? No. Did I pay for it? No, because all I did was make an order for it. Okay?
So we didn't do anything here.
No, we didn't do anything here. So in this case, do I need to journalize this?
Nope.
Okay, no, I don't need to journalize this, okay? However, now, because there's only one person and one person in this entire business, right? Bob is Bob. We're the accountant, right? Now, I have a question for you. Do we actually have someone who's in charge of inventory?
Just him.
Just him, right? And so in this case, he has to keep some kind of track record to be able to know that we received something. And in this case, that's why I have a purchase order right here so we can keep track of what we ordered and when, if we received it or not. So in this case, right, I wrote out my very first purchase order. Okay? I wrote my very first purchase order. When did I write this out? I wrote it on the 6th.
So this is on this, yeah.
All right. The importance of this is, what if I ordered a whole bunch of stuff and no one told me, and then all of a sudden, I see it show up to the store, and what do I do if they ask me for money? I didn't order this. Yes,
Yes, you ordered, but you
well, yes, we
didn't.
did, because now if we keep track of our purchase orders, right, that allows us to be able to keep track of whether we received it or not. Now, what if I sent a whole bunch of purchase orders out and I never received my items? Then I know, because I have a track record, that I did order this item. I call up the vendor saying, "Hey, where's my desk at?" And if they say, "Oh, I'm sorry, we're right currently out of back stock right now, so we ordered it for you, so it should be coming in soon." Right? So that's the great thing of having a purchase order, is you're keeping a good track record of it. Okay? So in this
Yes.
case, right, who did I buy from?
From furniture store.
Okay? What did I buy?
Uh, one set, one desk set,
For how much?
562.
Okay? For $562. So that means when I do receive it, I'm going to have a bill for it, coded for it. Okay?
Mhm.
Okay. So now that we entered in our first purchase order, right, we understand that there is no real transaction here, because we just ordered something. That's all we did. We didn't pay any money. We didn't, we didn't receive a bill. We didn't receive the actual furniture itself. So in this case, that's all we did, was place a simple order. All right. And I want to keep a good track record of it, because if I'm ordering a whole bunch of um, furniture, right, I expect for it to come into the store, right, and making sure that I pay for what I bought, right? Because
Mhm.
oftentimes you'll have scenarios where you might come into a situation where they might actually overship you too many items, and et cetera, et cetera. So double checking with your purchase order and matching it with your actually being able to receive it is a huge factor here. Okay. So that's the first thing there. We got our first purchase order. So let's see what happened next. So then
Have another one.
we did another one, right? On the same
Mhm.
day, we did another purchase order where we are buying something else. So maybe the first time around, I bought a desk and I was like, oh, wait, I should have ordered another item from the furniture store. So in this case, we bought a counter and we bought 15 display shelves. So in this case, we're already on our purchase orders. So in this case, I'm going to go ahead and pop in, because once again, we know that we're just ordering, but we don't have a clue like what the bill is. We didn't receive the items. We're just requesting. So in this case, same
Mhm.
thing. We're purchasing this from furniture store.
Yep.
Okay. And this time we're buying a counter and
One now.
shelves.
5 display shots.
Now, in what grand total amount am I subject to be looking for to match our invoice?
1,543.
1543. Okay, perfect. Right. So then let's see what happened here. Now, what did we do here?
Oh, we make a contract with the electricity company. Hmm?
So in this case, electricity,
Mm-hmm.
okay, is connected.
Connector.
So
Yes.
in order to connect that, for them to connect the electricity, they required $100 deposit.
Deposit.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
So then they wanted to make it payable to NV Utilities. Okay, so NV Utilities is the company. So in this case,
Mm-hmm.
right, we're going to go ahead and write them another check. Okay, write a check, excuse me. So in this case, all right, we're going to make our deposit for the electricity bill to be turned on by NV Utilities. So in this case, right, this isn't an electricity bill. This is a deposit, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So how do I journalize this transaction?
Do you have any account that is deposit or
Do we have an account that's called deposits?
I just look? Let me see.
Let's take a look at our chart of accounts.
sorry. Liability, huh? It's an expense, no?
No, this is a
No,
deposit.
oh, sorry. It's an asset. It's 18,700.
18,700, right? Can you touch a deposit for electricity?
Nope.
No, so it becomes an intangible asset, right? Because this is money that once you leave the store, right? They're obligated to give you this deposit back because they just need that as a placeholder to let the company know that you are currently using that place, right? So that's what this deposit is. It's so then they can keep the electricity from running because you're occupying that space. But if you leave, you get that deposit back. So in this case, let's go ahead and put it in here. So we have deposits.
So deposits.
Okay,
And we have a check-in.
and we have checking because we wrote a check out. Okay, so deposits was account number 18,700, and the account for checking was 10,100, right? So in this case, how much was the deposit for?
100.
$100. Okay. Okay.
Deposit.
Okay. All right. So because we wrote another check, right? What check number? We need to go to our check register.
Yes. So it is 1,500. 04.
Okay, so the check register, we have it for 1504. Now in this case, we made this on June 6th. We wrote a check for $100 to who?
To electricity company.
In this case was, what's the electricity company called?
Nevada Utilities.
Nevada Utilities. Good. Okay, so there you go, $100. Okay. Okay, so
Yep.
now that we wrote our check, we need to make sure we put our description in here to let us know which vendor we actually talked with. In this case, this was Nevada Utilities. All right.
Pay.
And this is for electricity deposit. And we used check number 1504. Okay. So in this case, we've reached the bottom of my general journal, page 1. So that means the next transaction we're going to do, we're going to use the second page. So in this case, let's go ahead and continue on this one. So after we finish our journal, what's next?
The ledger.
Yes, we need to pop this into the ledger. So let's go ahead and find the ledger. So in this case, we're looking at deposits. Right? Deposits is going to be an asset. Right? We're already at the bottom here for my miscellaneous expense. So let's see. Goodwill deposits. Okay? So here, I'm going to go ahead and indicate that today's the 6th. Okay? And for this one, I'm going to say electricity deposit. Okay? And then this is the last general journal, page number 1. And this time, because we increased our deposits, right, by $100. So what should be my account balance here?
$1,600.
$1,600. Okay, good. And of course, we wrote a check out, so therefore we took money away from our checking account. Here we are, checking. Okay. On the 6th. Oop, not 6th of September, 6th of June, okay? We wrote check number 104.
No, 1504.
1504. Okay. General journal number 1. And this time, We spent another $100. So what's my account balance now?
11,461.
Yep. 11. Oh,
For
I moved it over. Sorry. 11,461.29.
61.
Good. Okay. Let's see what
Yeah.
happened next.
So next we have to write the check. The ledger. Did you write the ledger?
No, I did not do the ledger. So let's go ahead and update the ledger. So in this case, we dealt with NV Utilities. So here we're at Main Bank. Right here, NV Utilities is right underneath. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
It's the 6, right? Electricity deposit. Okay, and we wrote check number 1504.
54.
Okay, did we have an invoice number?
Mm-hmm. No.
No. Okay, so in this case, I'll just make one up real quick. So invoice number, so in this case, invoice number 502. Okay.
5.
Okay. So let's go back to our subledger here, invoice number 502. Okay. Post reference, our first general journal. Now, of course, this is an electricity bill. Were we given terms? We weren't even given a bill in the first place. So in this case, this was just a deposit. Okay. So therefore, the invoice amount that we were charged was $100 for the deposit, right? And did we pay for it? Yes,
Yes.
we did, right? We
Yes.
paid for
We
it.
will
So
take.
in this case, right, you're going to take your your invoice amount, which is the total amount that was due, right?
Mm-hmm.
Where you're going to subtract our prepaid, subtract our returns and allowances, subtract any discounts, and subtract any payments because all four of those components decrease accounts payable. So in this case, I owe NV Utilities nothing. Okay, in fact, they owe me money. Okay, so in this case, yeah, we just have to keep track that we made a deposit, so therefore they owe us some money in the future if we do leave the location.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So then let's go ahead and take a look at what happened next.
So, so we connect the telephone and we receive one bill, month bill, but we don't know how much. We don't know anything.
Okay, so a telephone service was connected, so we ordered through a telephone company. Okay.
So we didn't receive anything yet.
Good, right? Installation is to be included with the first month's bill. In this case, did we receive our bill? No, you said no.
Nope.
So we don't even know how much we owe because, again, with telephone, right, it's going to be based on how much you used, right? In this case, did we use anything?
Nope.
No, not yet, right? Because in this case, right,
We didn't open.
we didn't open yet, so we didn't use the telephone line yet, right? But it's just telling us that it's been connected, so therefore, when we do in the future start using the telephone, we will receive the bill, and it will give us a track record of all of the minutes that we used for the phone, and it will give us information such as they usually have initiation fees or activation fees, and it depends on the package that you purchase too, right? Are you going to buy internet with it? And if you are, in most cases, telephone lines usually come with internet. So in this case, it tells us that we won't get their information until we receive the first month bill. So in this case, you're correct. No transactions occurred because, one, we haven't even used the telephone yet, and we haven't received a bill yet. We don't know how much we owe.
Nope. Don't have the name of the company.
Yeah, we don't even have the name of the company, right? So in this case, right, we can move on to the next transaction, which here, natural gas, okay, is connected.
Connected.
Another $100 is required for a deposit,
Okay.
and it's once again made through NV Utilities.
Mhm.
So
So
usually, right, gas and electricity are paid separate, right? They're never paid together. Usually
yes,
water and gas are usually paid together, right? Electricity
together.
is
Yes,
always separate, right?
separate.
So in this case, that's exactly what NV Utilities did here, right? They said, hey, since you want the gas to be turned on, right, and the water to be run, you're gonna have to put another deposit
To
down.
connect the
So in this case, right, let's go ahead and enter this transaction in here
yeah.
because it's D6. Okay.
So again, we have a deposit. So this is the page two.
We're
Page
on page 2 this time, we're on page 2 instead of
one.
the first one, okay?
Deposit and checking.
And in this case, right, because I have the same exact
Ah,
journal, right? I can go ahead and copy and paste. And that's what we're going to be doing here as well. Is like once we have something that is the same thing reoccurring over and over again, right? In QuickBooks, right, you can memorize those transactions. Same thing here, right? The great thing about having Excel is you're able to copy and paste information. So in this
yes.
case, here we go. I copied and pasted the deposit and the checking. But this time, right? And it's for the same amount of $100. Okay? But let's go ahead and fill out our check register because we had to write another check. So that's
Yes.
why the description is going to be slightly different because we have a new check number and we have a new reason why we made this deposit. Okay, so 66. All right, so check number 1505. We paid another
Yes.
$100. And who did we make a
Connected.
payment to?
Nevada gas. I don't know. Natural gas. I don't know.
Nevada
Nevada, Nevada,
Utilities.
Nevada Utilities, but it's the same company. It's not the same company like the other ones.
It
It's
it
not the
is it is because they're being paid all into one company. But again, usually your electricity bill is always separate from your gas and water.
from the gas. Yes,
hmm
and it's not the
Even
same
though
company.
even though it's the same company, right? It is the same company, right? They're both NV Utilities. Even though they're the same company, they do want to keep your bills separately. Okay, because it's true, right? You're always going to pay your gas and water separately from your electricity. So in
It's
this
the same.
case, but it's the same company, yes.
I pay the, but I don't pay the gas now because we don't have a gas. But I
No,
know
we
that it's the
don't.
same
We
company.
we do not. We don't need to. You're correct there, but we do. They do require because again, if you're occupying that space, right?
Mhm.
They require you to have a deposit, so then they know that you're still using that place.
Is there?
Because if
Uh-huh.
you decide to leave that place, they're gonna give you the deposit back and shut off the gas there because they don't want running gas
No,
in an empty
yeah,
building.
no, I understand. I didn't know that it's the same company. I just
Oh,
think
okay.
so.
Well,
You call a different number, so you don't
no, no,
know
no,
that.
no. They're the same exact company. In this case, we got lucky that this is the same company.
That's good.
Yep. So in this case, NV Utilities.
It is.
All right. But this time we're paying a gas or natural gas deposit. Okay. And this time we wrote a different check. Right. This is now check number 1505.
15, 15, oh, five. Here we go.
Hmm? So once again, my journal is complete. So where do I need to go next?
You write the check yet? So we go to the ledger now.
We can go to our ledger now. Okay. So here you go. Same thing here. It's up to you for this one. Since we know this is going to be like this, we can go ahead and update our checking first because in this case, we know exactly what we're doing here, right? So
Yes.
check number 1505. This time What journal page are we on this time?
Number 2.
We're on page number 2. And we spent another $100, so therefore, how much money should I have in my checking account?
11,361.
Yep, we have 11,361.29. Okay. Now we have to go update our deposits, right? Because now we have a natural gas deposit. Okay, so where's my deposits at? Well, I think I missed it. There you go. Deposits, right? It is 6.6. Okay. And this time, this is natural
Yes.
deposit. All right. General journal number 2.
Right, 2.
And we're increasing it by $100. So therefore, what is my total amount in my 1,000 what?
And 700.
1,700. Good. Okay. Right, so then again, because we dealt with a vendor, right? We dealt with NV Utilities, right? So in this case, what's that?
So we're going to the ledger.
Yep. And I'm going to go ahead and write this is invoice number 552. Okay. So let's go ahead and go to our chat subsidy ledger. Here we are. We left off of NV Utilities anyway. So in this case, this was on June 6th. This is natural gas deposit. And again, this is check number 1505. All right. This is now invoice number 552. Okay. This time, general journal number 2. Okay. And again, the invoice here was $100, right? They told you you need to pay me $100. And did we make a payment? Yes, we did. Okay. So the same formula is going to apply here. So if you are using Excel, the great thing about using Excel is you're able to drag down this formula across all the way. So in this case, if my billing information told me that when I signed the contract with NV Utilities or with the rent landlord, right? And I called up the NV Utilities, they told me your deposit is worth $100. So therefore, I made a payment with check number 1505 for $100 to give me that I owe NV Utilities nothing. Okay?
Yep.
All right. So let's see what has happened next.
Again, another order.
Okay, so in this case, we have another purchase order. But what's different about this purchase order?
Then we pay down payment.
This time,
1/3 of the amount.
So in this case, we have a new vendor that we are making a purchase from, right? It's called Haley Bros. Okay? And in this case, we wanted a purchase order, but they say, no. If you're going to be buying all these items for me, right? This is almost $3,515 worth of items. I need you to give me a deposit. So then I'm guaranteed that you're not just buying this and I ship it out and you're not going to pay it, right? So in this case, they want a deposit, okay, or a down payment. Now in this case, right, this down payment will go towards my bill. So that's why it's going to be considered something different. It's not an actual deposit because we're not going to get the money back. We're going to apply it to the invoice. So in this case, this is going to be considered a prepaid account because I'm paying towards a bill in advance, right?
Yes.
I'm not making it a deposit where I'm going to get my money back. This money is going to go towards my actual bill itself. So in this case, right? That's what happened. We calculated that a third of the price is going to be $1,040.22. So in this case, right, we need to create a purchase order in the first place so we know how much and what we're expecting, right? So in this case, we're going to go to our purchase orders. Okay. We purchase order this on the 6th. Okay.
Yes. It's
Who did we purchase this from?
from Holly Bros.
Hallie Bros. What did we buy from them?
We buy a coffee brewer and a grinder.
Mm-hmm. And a coffee grinder too, right? A coffee brewer and a coffee grinder. Now, how much is the grand total for both coffee brewer and coffee grinders?
3,515.95.
Good. 3515.95. Okay. So that's just the rough estimate on there. Now, in this case, because they wanted a deposit, or in this case, a down payment, sorry, not deposit, they wanted a down payment. Therefore, we need to write a check for this prepaid accounts. So again, right, we're paying money that's going to go towards a bill. So that's going to be considered a prepaid accounts. Right? Which was account number, I believe it was 18600. Okay. Now in this case, I wrote a check out for this, right? I wrote a check.
Yes.
And I sent it to them because no one in the world is going to put an envelope $1,140.22. No, they're going to write a check.
But you're gonna find one or two there.
Right, exactly. And then anybody can open it and be like, I got free money. So in this case, you definitely want to write a check for this one. Okay. Now in this case, what is my check amount going to be? What am I writing it out for?
1,140.22.
Okay, especially those 2 cents.
22.
Yeah, 22 cents. Okay. Now, if I wrote a check, I have to go and find that check number.
Check number.
So check register, right? 666. Okay. We wrote it out for $11.40.22 to Mr. Holly Bros. Okay. Okay. So now that I wrote that in there, I now can proceed with the rest of my journal entry because I want to keep a good track record of why I made a prepayment, right? And why I wrote a check out and what check number I wrote out. So in this case, right, who was the vendor I wrote the check out to?
The Holly Bros.
Hallie Bros. Okay. Now in this case, I don't have a billing number. But I do have one thing, right? I have a purchase order number. Okay?
Yes.
In this case, so then because I haven't received the bill, but at least I'm able to look up in my purchase orders that I know exactly what I purchased. So in this case, I'm going to put in my purchase order number 170303. Okay? And then once again, I wrote check number 1506. Okay, which tells me, right, this is 1/3 down payment.
So this is the 1, 4, 5, 6. Yep.
Okay.
Mhm.
All right. So, what do I need to do next?
So you go to the ledger.
We're going to go to the ledger.
Mhm.
Okay. Oop, wrong one.
All of the ledgers.
Yes, we're going to go to all of the ledgers. So let's go. Let's go to the first ledger here.
The first ledger,
First ledger
asset,
here is an asset, right? Because I had a prepaid
mhm,
account. So in this
prepaid
case,
account.
that should be right above it.
So,
There you go. Okay. Now in this case, I'm going to go ahead and type in today is the 6th of June. Okay. Same thing
mhm,
that you're going to put in your journal, right? That this is a 1/3 down
down
payment.
payment.
Okay. On purchase order number 170303. Okay.
117.
And then you can go as far as also say for a coffee brewer slash grinder.
If you have the amount that you how you call that, that you pay for the down payment for that you go separate, that you give for for both separately, you have to journalize different.
What do you mean?
So if you have the amount, for example, say a coffee brewer, you pay uh, half of them 1,000, and for the grinder you pay 140. You have to journal. Oh, you have to to use prepaid, or you have to use the account that you have from the grinder and the coffee brewer.
Okay, so in this case, well, we're just doing a down payment right now. We
Mm-hmm.
don't know, right? What if we receive just the coffee grinder and not the brewer? In this case, this one goes towards to both of them, but we haven't received the bill yet. We don't know what the total cost of everything is. We're just
Because never,
sending in
no,
we're just sending in an amount of money. It doesn't really necessarily mean that you
no.
dedicated $1,000 to this and $1,000 to that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Okay.
So in this case,
Mm-hmm.
like right now, we don't know because we haven't received the bill yet.
No bill.
Okay. So
Mm-hmm.
if you want to, yes, you could. If that's how you want to understand it, that I'm making a payment 500 for my coffee brewer and
Coffee.
the $640.22 for my coffee grinder, you can do that. But in this case, right? What does it matter at the end of the day? You still owe
2,000.
$2,515 at the end of the day.
Yeah. The. Mm-hmm. Yes.
Okay. So it doesn't really matter whether you separate it or not, saying I'm making a payment to this or that.
No, that the. So, if you know the amount and where it's going to, so you journalize different. Now it's because you have a down payment, so you use the prepayment, a prepaid account. No, right now
Because,
it's just.
well, in this case, because I'm not, this is a deposit that they asked of me,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Okay.
I'm not paying specifically for a part of a coffee grinder and a
Yeah.
part of
Mm-hmm.
a coffee brewer. I'm just making
Mm-hmm.
a down payment just to
Down payment.
ensure
Yeah.
that yes, I want these two items.
Mm-hmm.
That's
Yeah.
all. That's
Yeah.
all it's saying. Because if let's say I flake out and say, never mind, I don't need the coffee growers or coffee grinders anymore, then Haley Bros, at
Everything
least
is.
they're not going to give us our money back because that's it's not a deposit. That money was supposed to secure that yes, I'm going to ship these items out to you. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So does it matter which items that they're going to go towards? No, it doesn't.
No. Mm-hmm.
So in this case, we put a deposit for 1140.22. So therefore, what is my grand total amount in my prepaid accounts?
8,058.39.
I did not get 8,000. Hold on. Did I write that in there correctly? Let's do it again. So 6,654.17.
Mm-hmm. Plus 1,000. Let me see. Maybe 6654.17 plus 1,404. No. Ah, no.
One, one.
One, 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 one. Mm-hmm. I got it. So I make a mistake here.
No worries.
So how much do we have? 66. 4.17 plus 1.0.22. So it's 7794.39.
Perfect.
Yep.
Yep. All right. And of course, we need to go up to our checking account because we wrote a check, right?
Mm-hmm.
So let's go ahead and take a look at this. If
So
I
we have
wrote
another
a
check.
check, another check for 1506.
611 minus 101. So 10,221.07. Yep.
Perfect, right? Now that we subtracted the 1140.22 from our bank account, we should have a total of $10,221.07 left.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
You didn't even buy coffee. He have it $10,000. That's all.
Well, in this
But
case, yes,
yeah,
but we're definitely not ready to open a business either because we don't even have tables, we don't have chairs,
nothing.
we don't have a cash well, we don't have a cash register, we don't have anything to start our business right now. We didn't even remodel the business yet.
Yep.
So we're a long
Everything.
ways to go. No, we paid for someone to give us an idea, but we
No, we
didn't.
didn't pay. We just asked for the.
Yeah, we just exactly we just
We
asked
just
them
asked,
to look at our store and give us an idea on how to design it. Okay.
and it just lost $2,000. It's not a good business for you
Yes,
then.
and we just lost $2,000 to from selling furniture. Okay, good. So therefore, we updated our ledger. We updated the journal. Now we need to update our subsidiary ledger because now we
And you got
say that Haley, I just gave you money, so you better come through and give me my coffee brewer and coffee grinder. Okay, so let's go ahead and go to Haley Bros.
to Holy Bros.
So hired temps. Here you go, Haley Bros, Hallie Bros, whatever you want to call it. So today is the 6th, right?
Mm-hmm.
You just issued a third down
Down payment.
payment on on a coffee brewer and coffee grinder, right? And how do you have proof of
Mm-hmm.
that? I wrote a check number
Check
1506.
1506.
Now the invoice here is because we don't have proof of the transaction was there, right? We didn't receive a bill, but at least we have one thing, right? We have the purchase order,
Purchase order.
mm-hmm,
Yep.
right? For
Mm-hmm.
170303.
3 hours.
Okay. Again, post reference is general journal number 2. Of course, we didn't receive the bill yet, so we don't know if we're going to be given any terms
Yep.
yet. It's just a purchase order, and we put
Mm-hmm.
a down payment down. Okay, so in this case, right, your purchase order is going to say, well, you owe us $2,515, right? And the bill on this one is because we're invoicing for the deposit for the down payment. You're going to go ahead and actually say that you owe 11.40 and 22 cents. Which in this case, did you make a payment to it? Yes, you
Yes.
did. You used check number 1506 to pay for it. So once again, the formula is going to be your invoice
Invoice.
minus
I know the prepaid.
prepaid minus returns minus
Pay
discounts
discount.
minus payments. So right now,
Mm.
you owe Haley nothing. In fact, they owe you money in case they don't, in case they don't ship out the items to you. You can go back and request it saying, hey, I sent you money. Why aren't you sending me my stuff that I asked for? So in this case, we can go ahead and have proof that this transaction has occurred by using your purchase order because that's proof that you requested those items. Okay.
So you just write the down payment. You don't put what you have to pay later.
No, because we didn't receive the bill yet.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. So we're going to stop here because it's exactly right now. It is exactly 3:04. So we'll go ahead and take our 15-minute break because you're the only one here. So please be back no later than 3:20.
Mm-hmm.
Okay?
No problem.
Okay.
Let me see.